Chris, if all this realignment talk wasn't going on, and we do invite everyone, leave your comments and questions. We'll get to them. We can get back to more realignment talk. People would still be buzzing and giddy about Charles Lester committing just a week ago or less.
Yeah, getting Charles Lester was huge. The cool thing was is where everybody was going back and forth on where Charles Lester was going to go. They were, really worried about the Colorado possibility with Dion, and I kept telling people to stay fast because I knew that he was coming to Florida State, and a lot of people when you say that are like, yeah, sure you did, but I'd actually told George and Seymour over text message that he he had already requested his commitment video from Florida State a month earlier. Um, Now, does that mean that he's in fact 100% coming to Florida State? No, but based off of that and the conversations that I'd been having with him and others around him, that nothing had swayed where he wanted to go. He 100% was doing what he thought was best for his brand, making sure that everybody paid attention to one of the best corners in the country committing to one of the prestigious universities. So he wanted to make sure that all eyes were on him and all eyes were on Florida State, and he did so. He did a really good job of it. And for this staff, especially Coach Norvell, he was a big reason that Lester stayed committed to Florida State because the Coach Woodson was the original one that was recruiting him. He moved on to Arkansas. We brought in Pat Surtain, and he'd only met Lester a couple of times before he actually verbally committed to Coach Norvell, and they made that video. So for Coach Norvell to be able to hang on to him, keep him interested at Florida State, wanting him to, come here, was extremely huge because there's only so much contact the head coach can have with recruits. They can't talk to them every day. They can't, do certain things that other position coaches can. So, for whatever it is that Norvell was able to continue to push out to this young man and get him ready to go was absolutely amazing. And I was telling people on the space today, Luke Kromenhawk has just as much right to say that he landed Charles Lester as any coach on that staff. Luke Kromenhawk did an amazing job at keeping in touch with Charles Lester. Charles Lester is very likely to be on both sides of the ball. He could be also a wide receiver, and he's looking forward to being on both sides of the ball. It's actually been a huge thing around his recruitment that he's that multi-talented. Now that you've got, Luke Kromenhawk, Cam Davis, Camden Fryer, and multiple others that have openly recruited Charles Lester, and now that he's landed here, now he wants to be responsible for the next big one.
Charles Lester, folks, if you're not aware, a top 40 player in the country and a top 4 cornerback out of Venice, Florida.